We are here. We are here for the most insane spoilers of your guys' life. Welcome in, chat. How are we doing? God bless each and every one of you. We are here to discuss One Piece 1179. Who would believe it? Who could believe it? The content we are getting this week, absolutely insane. Let's just all hope and cross our fingers and pray and beg the leakers that these spoilers are true, that this is not a prank, this is not April Fool's. Chat, let's hope that these are legitimate spoilers. How are we doing, guys? God bless each and every one of you. How is everyone doing, chat? Let me know how you guys are feeling today. Are you guys having a great morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are? I'm excited to talk about these spoilers. There's a lot that I want to say. I cannot believe it. I can't believe we've made it this far. I can't believe we're actually receiving this. If this is actually true. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff, you know, makes me think like there will be a day where we are looking at Joy Boy. There will be a day where we are reading the origins to the devil fruits. There will come a day when we're learning about Nika. There will come a day where we're looking at what the One Piece is. There will be a day when we're reading the last chapter of One Piece. That day will come. We've waited for times like these. Absolutely insane, man. We will be talking about that, King J. Don't worry. God bless, bro. Thank you for being here. Blizzard, God bless, bro. Johan, God bless, man. Viswa, Eric. No. Chat, you guys already know. Do all the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Chatzu, welcome back, brother. Oh, man, this is absolutely insane. Chat, do we just dive right in? Do we just dive into this madness? And trust me, guys, we're coming through with the agenda this stream. We're going to be very disrespectful. We're going to be disrespectful, outlandish, all of that. And guys, we will have the open mic session this stream. Do you guys like the open mic session? How about that? I'll let you guys vote on it. Guys, do you want me to have open mic session this stream? Do you want open mic session? Do you guys want me to have open mic session? Let you guys hop into the calls, take comments, questions, theories, concerns. Do you guys want to do that? Mihawk up sale. Tensley, what's good, bro? Absolutely insane stuff, man. All right, chat. I say we just go right into it, man. I say we just dive right into it. Now, what I'm thinking, guys, is you know, a lot of times when I'm reading the chapter or I'm reading the spoilers and I read something and I start, you know, talking about it, people start crying. Why don't you, bro, read the rest of the chapter, man? Wah. Read the rest of the chapter. Read the rest of the chapter. Read the rest of the spoilers. It talks about that later. Look, to minimize the amount of crybabies, which, by the way, that's only like 1% of the chat. 99% of the chat, you guys are legit. To minimize the 1% of the chat, the crybabies, we're going to go through top to bottom with the spoilers. We're just going to read it all. Then we'll go back and discuss, you know, certain things that stand out, okay? We're going to go read straight through this. Oh, man, here we go, chat. Spoilers chapter 1179. The title of the chapter, which, by the way, we are going to have a discussion about the title of this chapter. I guarantee you everyone's going to blow right past it. I got some stuff to say about the title specifically. Title of the chapter, The Incarnation of Narona Inu. Wow. This is actually a jam-packed title, and I'm pretty sure 99% of people are gonna blow right past through the title of the chapter. They're not even gonna soak into the sauce. But as much as I want to talk about it, let's continue. Continuing from where last chapter ended, the elders try to stop Imu from leaving Marijoa. Because remember, at the end of 1178, the most recent chapter, the very last page, we see Imu's at Marijoa. Imu's in the flower room, and Imu's telling the Gorosei, Mu has to leave for a while. So now we're picking up from that. Again, it says that the elders try to stop Imu from leaving Marijoa. The elders suggest that they send an admiral to Elbaf instead. When Imu rejects that idea, the elders suggest that the 5 of them will attack Elbaf instead of Imu. Imu orders them to stay back, and they kneel down. Wow, okay. There's a lot that I want to say about this, but let me just read the rest of the spoilers, and then we'll go through and talk about each point. Cut to Elbaf. Gerd finds Summers' heart. Zoro says that he has an idea to destroy it. In Orest Castle, Imu appears through the pentagram Herald created, just like how Shamrock and Gunko first arrived. This time, Imu is here in his real body. Imu is a man. Oh, dude, chat, I want to go off. I want to just say my piece so bad right now. Let me at least get it out of my system. We'll come back to this point and we'll talk about it in a much more fleshed out way. But let me just say right here, with what I'm reading right now, if this is true, if this is correct, this could be a troll from leakers. It's April Fool's. If this is true, I told you so. I told you so. Vindicated. How many years did I have to go butt heads with the chat saying Imu was a man because they refer to Imu as not as Imu Gu in the Japanese, as Imu Se in the Japanese, clearly, heavily implying and inferring that Imu's a man. We'll talk about that deeper on a deeper point, but totally vindicated. Totally vindicated, chat. Let's go. Dubs in the chat. If you were team boy, team man, dubs in the chat. Totally vindicated. But let's continue. I have more to say on that, but let's continue. When Imu lands on Elbaf, he spits blood. It seems like the elders were worried about Imu leaving Marijoa because of this. Imu falls to his knees. Imu begins to transform. Imu is a beautiful swordsman who resembles a Lunarian with his long white hair, brown skin, beautiful face, tattoos, and dark wings. But unlike Lunarians, Imu has horns and a devil tail with an arrow at the end. His tattoos are white. Imu's white hair is curly like Nika, unlike Lunarians. Imu is shirtless and has an eye tattoo on his hand. Imu has black clouds of an awakened Zoan, but instead of a smoke cloud, the cloud has a ring design, similar to Ophanim from the Bible. There are many eyes on those rings. All those eyes look like Mihawk's eyes. Imu's sword looks weird too. It looks like a pole arm weapon. I want to say, but we're just going to read through the full spoilers and then Can you hear me, chat? Where did we leave off? Oh my gosh, bro. I hate this PC so much. Where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? Mike muted worst time. Yeah, bro. It's absolute worst PC, dude. I gotta worry about it unmuting every 5 or muting every 5 seconds. And I can't read the spoilers while making sure if I'm muted or not. Where do we leave off? Bro, I'm not repeating the whole spoilers again. Where do we leave off, chat? Shirtless. Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue. Dude, that's so far up. Emu shirtless and has an eye tattoo on his hand. Emu has black clouds like in a chat. Sorry, I apologize for speeding through this. I'm not slow-moding the rest of this. I'm not slow-moding it again. Emu has black clouds of an awakened Zoan, but instead of a smoke cloud, the cloud has a ring design similar to Onaphim from the Bible. There are many eyes on those rings, and all those eyes look like Mihawk's eyes, ring eyes. Emu's sword looks weird too. It looks like a polearm weapon. The butt end tip has black clouds, while the blade is a zigzag shape with a curve at the tip. Unlike ancient giants and Onis, Emu's horns twirl twice like a devil's. Emu has a cape with a logo, only of which half of it is visible. He has white circular designs all around his body. He also has a white tattoo, or has a tattoo on the left side of his face. We can see a trickle of blood coming out from the left side of his mouth. Title box, one of the 20 founders of the world government. Ability, devil fruit without any model. King of the world, Saint Nerona Emu. Okay, I speed ran all the way until this point because this is where I stopped, and then I went to read the chat. Sorry for speed running. I'm not trying to read all that slowly again. Emu sits at the topmost tower of the castle, shaped like a pyramid, and releases a huge conqueror's hockey wave. Just like Big Mom, Emu gives life to the houses and trees around him. The houses and trees laugh with evil faces. Absolutely insane. Oda. Absolutely nuts. I really hope that these spoilers are legit. I hope this is not some April Fool's joke, which honestly, I kind of think it is. I mean, guys, you're telling me the week of April Fool's is the same week that the leakers are saying we get a whole Emu reveal? Is it really just a coincidence? Is it just a coincidence? Join open or join stream. Let's say join stream's voice call. All right, any mods in the chat? I want you guys to repaste this text every 10 minutes. We're going to have open mic callers this stream for anyone that wants to send me their or speak about their comments, questions, theories, concerns. Eli, God bless. Donnie Dawson, welcome back, bro. Stan, God bless, bro. All right. There's a lot that I want to talk about from the analytical theory perspective. Chat, let's begin with the breakdown. Let's begin with the true, real deal, Holyfield analysis of these spoilers. Now, of course, again, these spoilers are coming out during the week of April Fools. So all of this could be completely made up. All of this could be an elaborate troll. Okay? I could go on and analyze this to the deepest depths while none of it's real. Okay? So let's just assume this is real. Maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Let's assume that it's real and let's discuss it. That's what we're here to do. Okay? First things first, let's talk about the title of the chapter. The title of the chapter, which I do know a lot of times, the leakers on like every chapter, they'll get the title of the chapter wrong. Okay? But let's assume that this this title is correct. Let's talk about it. Okay? Smokey, God bless, bro. The title of the chapter is The Incarnation of Nerona Emu. Now, here's the interesting thing. Right? Here's the interesting thing. We've talked about how Emu could be literally Satan. Now, when I say that Emu is Satan, I don't mean, oh, Emu's an evil, mean person. No. I don't mean it in some shallow, immature way. I mean, Emu's literally Satan. And we've talked about this on stream many times. I have threads on Twitter about this. I mean, Emu's Satan in a literal sense, but there's many directions we can go with that take. So let's start somewhere. We got to start somewhere. We in Orthodox Christianity, right? In Orthodox Christianity, we believe that Satan is pure spirit. Okay, we don't believe that Satan has flesh. We don't believe that Satan is a physical human person like you and I. We believe that Satan is a fallen angel. And angels, we believe, are just fully spirit. Angels don't have bodies in Orthodox Christianity. So when I where did yo, I'm gonna blow my brains out. When did I get unmuted? When did I get muted this time? I am going to blow my brains out. Chat, where did we leave off? Satan, where did we leave off, chat? I'm gonna blow my brains out, dude. Bro, that was the chat. Forgive me for my anger and frustration. You guys don't know how, I'm gonna say a bad word. You guys don't understand how infuriating this crap is. Bro, that's the whole thing was about. Okay, let's try this again. We believe in Orthodox Christianity that Satan is pure spirit, okay? We don't believe that Satan is a man, right? We don't believe that Satan has a body. We believe that Satan is a spirit, right? So I've always had this idea, and we've talked about this on stream, and I've posted threads about this on Twitter. You can go read them, where I argued and I posited that maybe Emu's original existence was like Satan. Satan or Emu was pure spirit. But in One Piece, this pure spirit took on flesh and became a physical person. Right? So when we read the title of the chapter is The Incarnation of the Rona Emu. Basically, my idea, and I'm sure other people have thought of this as well, is that it's almost like a mirror to Jesus Christ. Now, maybe some of you guys aren't religious. Maybe some of you guys hate Christians. In other words, you guys are bozos, right? Maybe you're not a fan of religion, but just for the sake of, discussing One Piece, just for the sake of exploring who Emu truly is, allow me to explain Orthodox Christianity, how we view Jesus and Christology. That way you can understand what we're saying about Emu. Okay, so here's the thing, right? In Orthodox Christianity, how we explain God, how we explain Jesus is like this. God is a divine essence, right? Whereas you and I, we're human. Our whatness, our substance, our usia is humanity. Now, this essence of humanity, when it's individuated and it becomes concrete, it becomes a hypostasis. So for an example, my substance is humanity, but when my humanity is individuated and made concrete, you have the hypostasis of Eddie, right? How we view God is when we say we love God or we worship God, we're talking about an essence. Okay, so that would be like if I said, like, I worship humanity, right? Humanity's like a collective. I don't worship humanity. I'm making an analogy, right? So how we're describing the incarnation of Jesus is that this divine nature, the divine essence, it became flesh, it became man. And it took on human nature, and it had the hypostases we call Jesus Christ. What we're saying about Emu is it's a similar thing. Emu is going to be like a parallel, like a mirror of Jesus, where God, the divine essence, was materialized. It was individuated and made concrete in the material world, and we call him Jesus. That's going to be similar to Emu. Because when we worship God, when we say, oh, I believe in God, we're talking about an essence. I worship the divine essence that uplifts and sustains the world. Whereas the angels, whereas Satan, he's also pure spirit. But Satan's not a man on earth. Satan doesn't exist in the material realm like how you and I do. So what I'm arguing and what I've been saying for the longest time is that maybe in One Piece, the devil took on flesh, just like how in Christianity, in Orthodox Christianity, God took on flesh. And now when we read the title of the chapter, what do we see here? The incarnation of Narona Emu. You see? Now you guys are understanding at least like the fundamentals, the root of Christology, right? When you guys hear the incarnation of Jesus, maybe some of you guys have no idea what that means. What do you mean the incarnation of Jesus? Now you know what that means. We believe that God, the divine essence, was made individual, was made concrete existence into the material realm. We call that the incarnation. So I am positing that with One Piece, Oda made a story where, you know how Jesus had his incarnation, Jesus entered the material realm. In One Piece, Oda's having a story where the devil enters the material realm. You see what I'm saying, chat? And honestly, there's a lot of precedence to have these ideas in the story. Because first of all, the title of the chapter is the incarnation of Narona Emu. See, the key word here is incarnation. Incarnation, not the reveal of Emu, which maybe that's the title of the chapter. Maybe the leakers messed up. Who knows? But I'm just going off what the spoilers say. Okay. If we're going off what the spoilers say, it doesn't say the revelation of Emu, the reveal of Emu, the entrance of Emu. No. The key word is the incarnation of Emu. So it's possible, again, that in the One Piece world, Satan exists. Satan's an evil spirit, right? An evil angel, no body, but Satan took on human flesh and had an incarnation. Emu is Satan made flesh, like how we would believe Jesus Christ is God made flesh. And that's why the title of the chapter is The Incarnation of Narona Emu. Okay? That's what I'm thinking right now, chat. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, you have devil fruits. You have Noah's Ark. You have the Adam tree, Adam and Eve tree. You have the tree of knowledge. You have Kuma, who's a pastor, going to a church, praying to a cross of the sun god, this messianic figure that's going to come back and save the world. I mean, it's all in your face. So I think it's very plausible that, again, in the One Piece world, the devil, rather than just being pure spirit, he became flesh. He had an incarnation. Continuing from where the last chapter ended, the elders try to stop Emu. The elders suggest to send an admiral to Elbaf. Now, chat, I want to know what you guys think about this point, because they're actually trying to argue that they should send an admiral to Elbaf. Now, guys, I don't know what you think, but I think that this is an absolute joke. We're talking about Luffy, Gear 5. We're talking about Loki, who might be top 3, might be top 1. We're talking about Ragnar. And their idea is to send an admiral. The Gorosei, Jordan, you said it best. The Gorosei might be worse at power scaling than Sanji fans. Because in what planet do you genuinely think that, yeah, we could send an admiral. The admiral will take care of Gear 5 Luffy. The admiral will take care of Ragnar and Loki. Are these guys on crack? Vincent, what are they smoking? They got to be smoking some insane pack. Well, when Emu rejects this idea or that idea, the elder suggests that the 5 of them stay back at Elbaf, or the 5 of them will attack Elbaf instead of Emu. Now, again, with the stupid suggestions, the 5 Gorosei, they barely managed to drive the Straw Hats away last arc. The Gorosei barely managed to make Luffy and Co. run away. They barely managed. Yeah, make Luffy and the Straw Hats run away. But this time it's actually worse because they have a whole fleet of giants there to help the Straw Hats. They have Loki. They have Ragnar. The Gorosei are not going to come through and do a better job than last time. The 5 punching bags. Cut to Elbaf. Gerd finds Summers' heart. Zoro says he has an idea to destroy it. Now, I'm actually a little curious to see what his idea is. Guys, what do you think his idea is? What is he trying to do? Is he going to chop up the heart? Is he just going to stab the heart? What is he going to do? This might actually be like a... guys, do you think this might be like a Punk Hazard kind of thing? Remember in Punk Hazard, there was a lot of manipulation. There was like a lot of manipulating going on with the hearts and stuff like that. I think his idea is just to stab it, cut it. Yeah, I mean, Zoro's a pretty straightforward guy. Do you think it's a human model Lucifer or another demonic model? No, what I'm arguing is that somehow in the One Piece world, Satan became flesh. That's what my argument is. Now, maybe in the One Piece world, Satan became flesh and then he ate a fruit. I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible. I don't know what the fruit would be. Or maybe what happened was the devil, Satan in One Piece, somehow became a fruit. And then Emu ate the fruit. So technically the devil was made incarnate because Emu ate the fruit. Kind of like Luffy. Where Luffy brings about the existence of Nika by eating the Nika fruit. But you know what's more peculiar, guys, is we know through Kamakura Island. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up really quick, chat. Hold on. We know through Namakura Island, right here, that people already tried summoning in Satan and it didn't work. Now, I've always posited that they failed to summon the Satan because Satan has already been summoned. And Emu is Satan. You guys remember this? They tried summoning Satan here. Not only did they try summoning Satan here, but they also use, quote, black magic. And if you guys think about the official translations during the Egghead Island arc, they referred to the pentagrams as magic circles and black magic. So there's a connection there. Yeah, so I would lean more towards Emu being Satan, but I do understand that it would be possible for that to be the case if Emu ate Satan, ate like the Satan fruit. And maybe the Satan fruit is it's just called devil fruit. Maybe it doesn't really have a name. There's many different ways to have this work where Emu is Satan. Maybe it's a fruit. Maybe Satan was summoned in. There's all types of ways for this to happen. But I believe that there is a legitimate spirit. There is a legitimate being in the One Piece world named Satan and it became flesh. And that's why the title of the chapter is The Incarnation of Narona Imu. Oda's going for an incarnation of Satan. Let's see here. In Oris Castle, Imu appears through the pentagram herald created, just like how Shamrock and Gunko first arrived. Okay, not very surprising. This time, Imu is here in his real body form. Imu is a man. Now, this goes to show that we are so vindicated. We are vindicated. And I will tell you guys right now, starting today, starting right now, you're going to see everybody claiming that it was so obvious Imu was a man. Just like how people do this with every other thing that's revealed in the story. Why? Because a lot of people have no humility. And a lot of people have so much pride. You guys have seen it yourselves on this channel, going back and forth with people, having debates with people, that Imu is a man. Why? Because there's a clear established pattern in One Piece where female celestial dragons are referred with the suffix of gu, G-U-U. Whereas every single male celestial dragon in the story is addressed with the suffix of sei. Every single time. Gu for women, sei for men. Now, how interesting is it that in the Japanese, the Gorosei referred to Imu as Imu-sei? That lets you know right there, Imu's a man. They're calling him a man. And what did I have? What did people say in response? Oh, well, I still think Imu's a woman. Oh, well, I hope Imu's a baddie. Oh, well, maybe Imu is in a woman's body. Cope. Nothing but cope. So we're vindicated on this one. I mean, his closest men literally refer to him as a man. I mean, like, when Imu lands on Elbaf, let's see. When Imu lands on Elbaf, he spits blood. It seems like the elders are worried about Imu leaving Marijoa. Because of this, Imu falls to his knees. Now, chat, are you guys thinking that, all this black magic is eating away at his lifespan? Maybe Imu cannot spam black magic. He cannot spam Domi Reversi. He cannot spam the Diabolical Covenant. There is a drawback to it. Maybe it eats away at his body. His body deteriorates. Think about what we see in the real world. Look at the elites in the real world. The elites in the real world doing their black magic, doing their occult stuff. They're suffering, and now they got to go receive adrenochrome. We do got our first super chat of the day. Thank you so much, brother. God bless, schoolboy. Thank you so much for the 5. I don't know if it's a coincidence that Namakura Island devil worshippers are just goofy and stupid as the god knights. And Gorosei, I don't know, just an observation. I mean, maybe the idea of them being goofy and stupid is a coincidence, like the Holy Knights. Maybe that exact particular detail is a coincidence, but I would say we got to look at the bigger picture here. We got to look at the bigger picture here, you know? I've been saying for the longest time, you guys could go through my videos and my streams. We've been doing content since Wano. I've been telling you, Namakura Island is going to foreshadow the Gorosei and Imu. You guys can go in my old content and find it. So the bigger picture here, appreciate the super chat. The bigger picture here is that we have some occult stuff going on. We have some dark ritual stuff going on. And certainly Oda is aware of the real world. You would agree, right? Oda's aware of the real world. Like Oda had the concept of Lilith from the real world. Oda had the concept of the tree of knowledge from the real world. Oda talks about Italy inspiring islands in One Piece. Oda talks about France. Oda talks about all these things in the SBS. He demonstrates how there's all these things in the real world that inspire the plot of One Piece. We also see how he said that the admirals in One Piece are based off of Japanese actors. What's the point here? The point here is that Oda is using the real world. Oda's using the real world reality and his mind to illustrate a message, to illustrate a story. What else do we see in the real world? We see a case, we see a circumstance where the world rulers around Earth, in Europe, in the US, in Mexico, in the Middle East, these guys in the real world are into the occult. These guys in the real world want to destroy the world. They want to destroy Christianity. They want to continue pushing Satanism. They want to push atheism. This is in their books. What do we see from the Epstein files, chat? What do we see in the real world? What have people not been talking about secret societies for over 2 centuries? Secret societies. Do you guys not believe that Oda isn't using a secret society in Are we back? Okay, sorry, Mike got muted. We see in the real world, again, people in secret societies pulling the strings and pushing these evil things, and that's what we're seeing in One Piece. You literally have this one guy and these 5 dudes ruling the world. They're the ones that control the Marines at the end of the day. They're the ones that manipulate the Reverie. Which, by the way, the One Piece world government and the Reverie is based off of what? The UN, the United Nations, a political entity. But what do we see in the world government in One Piece? What do we see from the Gorosei? The occult. We literally see from the Gorosei and Emu, they're turning into demons. They're doing black magic rituals. They have pentagrams on the floor. It's obvious what Oda is illustrating here. Oda is illustrating what people have been saying for the longest time. That the world is ruled by satanic PDF files. And that's why they take girls like Boa. That's why they wanted girls like Bonnie. They capture Ginny. It should be clear to you guys. The Gorosei rule the world, and they're evil devil worshippers, just like in our real world. This isn't new. People have been saying this for decades. The world is ran by satanic PDF files. And Oda's putting that into his story. These guys are demonic. These guys are into the occult. And who is their biggest threat? Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, chat. Who is their biggest threat? Their biggest threat is the Son of God that's going to come back and kick their butts. The Son of God's going to return. All the ancient writings are about him. People are getting psyoped into not believing it. People worship this Son of God at a church. Think about it. Kuma was a pastor, and he was worshiping Nika. And what was in that church? A cross. And the very next day was Sunday, and Kuma was healing people on that Sunday. And this is the biggest threat to the world government in One Piece, chat. Are you not putting 2 and 2 together? Are you not see what's do you not see what's going on here? All right. Emu begins to transform. Emu is a beautiful swordsman who resembles a Lunarian with his long white hair, brown skin, beautiful face, tattoos, and dark wings. But unlike Lunarians, Emu has horns and a devil tail with an arrow at the end. His tattoos are white. Emu's white hair is curly like Nika, unlike Lunarians. Now, I want to ask you, Chad, I want to ask you guys, do you guys believe that Emu is a Lunarian? I want to know, and comment in the chat. Comment down below, yes or no. I want to see everyone's take. If you're watching the stream, thank you for being here. God bless each and every one of you guys. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, amazing morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you're new. Do the YouTube stuff. And comment down below, do you believe that Emu is a Lunarian? Or do you guys think it's just a coincidence? He just coincidentally looks like a Lunarian. In the spoilers, they mentioned fruits with laughter, meaning these fruits were joyful and smiling. This confirms that the fruits are actually those of angels. You know, I was actually thinking that maybe the smile fruit has something like it, maybe not even in a literal sense, but maybe in a metaphorical sense, the smile fruits have something to do with this. But I don't know. I might be looking too deep into it. It might be like a big mom kind of thing, Johan. Because you know, with Big Mom, her fruit makes everything around her, you know, light up and laugh and ha ha ha. But her fruit's not really tied to smiles. At least what we're led to understand and believe right now. Lunarians are his descendants. Now that's wild. Now that is wild. Didn't it say he had a no model devil fruit? Yo, I just sent 2 super chats via stream elements and it said both were successfully sent. Bro, don't tell me it's doing this again. Hold on, let me look at my stream elements to see if it went through. Can you check your bank? Are you able to check your bank and see if it charged you? Oh, it went through for me. Is it somewhere in the chat? Hold on, let me see something. Replay. Replay. Whoa. Bro, where is it? Why isn't it appearing in the chat, man? Dude. Hold on, Smokey. Hold on. I see those humongous donos. Bro, why isn't it appearing in the chat? I see them. Chat, we have a $333 donation. $333 and $133. I don't know why it's not popping up in the chat. I even clicked a replay, but it's not popping up. Chat, he says crazy ass chapter, and this just the short summary. I'm giving Oda a 10 out of 10 this week minimum. Guys, that is what, 466. Chat, $466 donation from Young Smokey. Absolutely insane. Can we get a W Smokey in here? Can we get a Wong Woki? Shout out to Young Smokey, man, with the $460. Absolutely magnificent. Thank you so much, brother. Smokey said you get yourself a new mic. Bro, I don't think it's even this mic. I think it's the USB port. And there's only one that I can use. I don't know why this PC's doing that, but thank you so much, Young Smokey. I'm not going to lie. I got to give Oda a 10 out of 10. And you know I'm stingy with the ratings. I'm stingy. I don't like to give out 10 out of 10s. You guys Bro. Okay, we're back. Thank you so much, Smokey. God bless, bro. 460. What else do we need to talk about? So Emu shirtless with an eye tattoo on his head. Now, if you guys know about the back of the US dollar, let's actually pull it up really quick. US dollar back. Now, a lot of you guys know where we're going with this right now. And we are going to switch to open mic session soon, guys. So if you guys want to speak to me on stream, you guys can soon. Okay, so we see here on the back of the US dollar, there's an eye and there's a pyramid. And again, when we read the spoilers this week, what does it say? Emu shirtless with an eye tattoo on his hand. He's sitting on top of a pyramid. Now, a lot of people would be led to believe that, you know, this pyramid, this symbol on the back of the US dollar is Masonic. Maybe some of you guys don't believe it's Masonic. Maybe you guys believe it has nothing to do with Freemasonry. Whether you do or you don't, well, maybe Oda's playing around with that idea in his story. You know, we see a lot of imagery of just the all-seeing eye from Freemasonry. They like the pyramids, stuff like that. We see on the back of the US dollar bill, it says, Anuit Sueptis, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. Novus Ordo Seclorum, New World Order. And if you guys are Catholic, you guys might think that this sounds familiar. Novus Ordo. Maybe Oda has some Freemasonry stuff going on. Because again, in the real world, people for many decades have been saying that the world is ruled by Freemasons. Right? And clearly Oda likes reading about the real world. I mean, you could literally argue that the whole concept of Emu and the Gorosei is a conspiracy. Because the Reverie, let me pull up a picture. The One Piece World Reverie is supposed to be this meeting where everyone has a foe with democracy. We're all going to meet up and we're all going to vote on things. We live in a democracy. That's what they all think the world is that's how they think the world operates. But it turns out that that isn't true. The people who actually have the most amount of power at the Reverie are the Gorosei. But then wait a second, the Gorosei bow their knee to Emu. So the One Piece world, this is the whole thing about why it's so bad that the Gorosei and Emu are ruling the world, why they are the ones that have all the power. In case you guys, it hasn't clicked for you guys. The world thinks that they live in a democracy. All of the world rulers, they're going to go show up to the Reverie and they're going to vote. They think it's a democracy, when in reality, it's an autocracy, because Emu is the one controlling the Gorosei, and then the Gorosei are the ones that actually have the real power in the world government. So it's not a democracy, it's an autocracy. The power is in the hands of Emu. This is what makes the Gorosei and the Emu situation so bad. This is why it's so bad. These guys are being deceived. So what do we have here, chat? What is this called? There's a word for this. I will shout out the first person that can tell me the word for this. You have a situation in One Piece where everyone thinks that they live in a democracy, but in reality, there's actually 5 dudes that have way more power than everyone else in the government, and they bow the knee to this world ruler. What do you call this, chat? If you said, hey, we don't live in a you're close, Elijah. We don't live in a democracy. Actually, there's people that rule the world in the shadows. They're evil. They're demonic. They do the occult. They use pentagrams, and they're ruling the world. They control the government. What will people call that, chat? You guys are missing the mark. What do you call that, chat? If I was in the One Piece world / the real world, and I was telling someone, bro, the Reverie's pointless. You guys don't have power. The ones that actually have power are the ones that are in the shadows doing all the occult stuff. What would people respond and say? What would they call that? What would they call that? They would call that they would call it a what? Please, someone give me the word. I will shout out the first person that can tell me this. What would people, okay, if you say it in the real world, what will people call that? Hey, our government, it's not actually ruled by the people you think it is. It's actually ruled by these evil, satanic PDF files in the shadows. Thank you. You would call it a conspiracy. That's the textbook definition of it. Thank you, Will of Dreams. Shout out to Will of Dreams and Ishmael. I think it's, or Imasail. Sorry, I butchered your name. They would call it a conspiracy. So what do you see here, chat? What do you see in the storyline of One Piece? The crux of this story is a conspiracy. That's the crux of the whole story. The whole story is a conspiracy. So, of course, Oda's going to take inspiration from the Illuminati. Of course, Oda's going to take inspiration from Freemasonry. The whole story is a conspiracy. All these guys are meeting up for meetings. They think they have equal political power. In reality, they don't have all the power. It's actually some 5 dudes. It's a small group in the shadows who like doing black magic and like doing rituals and kidnapping little girls. PDF stuff. They're into the occult. They're the ones ruling the world. That is a conspiracy. And we see this in One Piece. You wouldn't even have this world government power, this, worldwide tyrannical power without the conspiracy. You wouldn't have the erasure of the poneglyphs without this occult group, without this conspiracy. You guys see what I'm getting at here? So Oda is implementing the Illuminati in One Piece. Oda's implementing the Freemasons in One Piece. Oda's implementing the Trilateral Commission in One Piece. And do you guys know what Oda's also implementing into One Piece? Do you know what the do you know what the bottom of the rabbit hole is? Do you know what what Oda's really getting at here? I've been saying this for years. The bottom of the rabbit hole is that the One Piece world, just like our world, is ruled by racist Jays. That's the bottom of the rabbit hole. That's what it is. We rule the world. We're God's chosen people. We made the Holy Land. You can't criticize us. God's chosen people. We hate the Messiah. That's the bottom of this. And it's not like that in itself isn't even a conspiracy theory. One Piece has the conspiracy, but this isn't even the conspiracy theory. It's so obvious. The Zionists are not the ones saying, yeah, I am the chosen people of God. That's not the Zionists. Who's the one doing that, chat? Can someone tell me who are the ones saying, yeah, we're the chosen people of God. We're God's people. We're the gods. Who's the one saying that? It's not the Zionists. The Zionists don't believe that they themselves are gods or they're God's chosen people. But clearly, someone in the real world does. We just established Oda's basing all these things from the real world in his story. He's taking all these things from our world and implementing it into One Piece. Who is it based on? Who are the ones that hate the Son of God? The ones that hate Nika, that don't want to see the return of the Messiah? All right, we went severely off topic, but chat, let's look at Discord. Shout out to King J. We have been saying how Dofi and NL parallel Emu. Dofi is a fallen celestial dragon who stands against the celestial dragons to become God. NL is a Birkin who stood against other Birkins and became their god. So I believe Emu is a Lunarian who killed the whole Lunarian race to become the only god. The reason for his slight difference in appearance is because he probably ate a Lucifer Devil Zoan. He used a dragon-like form against Sabo. What we're seeing here could be the hybrid form. That's why he has the Lunarian characteristics from his base form. Shout out to King J. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Shout out to Big Wing Wei. And I could see that being the case. That actually makes a lot of sense. I can see this happening. Emu taking out his own people. Emu sacrificing his own people. They didn't want him to be God. He wanted to be God. They looked at him. They said, "You're not our God, bro. You are not our God." And he said, "Oh, you're not." Emu probably told them, "You were going to accept me as God, or I wipe you out." Shout out to King J. I'm really, hey, I asked the chat earlier if they believe that Emu was a Lunarian. And what, most of the chat said yes? I didn't see anyone who said no. You are a coward for not fighting yourself. Emu in One Piece 1179. Let's run through it again. Chat, do you guys believe that Emu is a Lunarian? Let's run through it again. Let's see how many people are at least going to want to enter King J's take. To be honest, King J, I think you have a popular take. It seems like to me, a lot of people are down with Emu being a Lunarian. Now, chat, I'm going to talk a little bit some more one-on-one with you guys about the spoilers, and then we are going to switch to open mic. If anyone wants to come into the voice call on stream and debate me, ask me questions, share their theory, you guys should join the stream call. I got the link in the text chat. Join through StreamYard. You guys could talk to me live on stream in front of everyone. Come mop the floor with me if you disagree about something. Come embarrass me. I got the link in the text chat. Emu could be a half-breed. Welcome back, Code One. God bless, bro. Low-key, Evil really knows how to think like a J. Could Nika's staff be how he fought any way he fancies? With like a magical imagination staff? I wonder if back when you were making your videos, you didn't want to be a Freemason. Bro, you think I'm a Freemason? Or you think I was a Freemason? I think Emu has a Leviathan devil fruit. Okay. Now, chat, the really interesting thing here is it says ability, devil fruit without any model. Now, that is interesting. Are they saying, like, is it going to say Akuma no Mi? Is that what they mean? Like, it's going to say Akuma no Mi, devil fruit. Because if that's the case, chat, I think Emu is going to have the original devil fruit. And shout out to King J. I saw him say somewhere, I don't remember where he posted this. I saw King J hypothesize that maybe Emu has the first devil fruit and Nika has the last devil fruit. Oh. What does what mean? Nika just has the last one that was ever made? Well, actually, technically, King J, you would have to say like the last devil fruit under a certain circumstance, under a certain qualifier. You would have to say like the last devil fruit Emu made, or last devil fruit the ancient kingdom made. You would have to add like a qualifier, because technically like Caesar could make a fruit right now, right? You know what I mean? Like if I don't know, like let's say Doflamingo and Caesar, they made a fruit right now. They made a devil fruit right now. That would be the last devil fruit. So you would have to have like a qualifier. It would have to be like maybe the last fruit Emu ever made, the last fruit Joy Boy ever made. Like you'd have to have some kind of I don't know, qualifier. Last one from the Void Century. Yeah, something like that. But I really like the idea of Emu having the first one. If his fruit really is called Akuma no Mi, if his info box it really does say Akuma no Mi, just that's it. Makes me think he has the original. Because you would have like Akuma no Mi. Well, actually, no. Because if someone has like the smoke fruit, it doesn't say Akuma no Mi. It would just say smoke no Mi. Shout out to L with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much, bro. God bless, man. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, chat, before I switch to the open mic segment, do you guys think I should bring people in one-on-one, like one by one? Or do you guys think I should have like 3 people join the call at the same time? Since you guys are the viewers, I'm going to cater to you guys. What do you guys think, chat? Should I bring in 3 people into the voice call? It's going to be 4 of us talking to you guys in the text chat. Or should I just bring people in one by one? Because I do know you guys come to the stream for the content we have here. Yo, Nacho Libre. Wacho Libre. Hey, Vincent, I've been meaning to tell you, bro. Vincent, you got to get a Discord account, man. I'm always trying to tell you ahead of time, like if I'm going to have open mic or maybe I want to make you a mod on Discord because you're a mod in the YouTube chat. Dude, you don't have a Discord in the Big 26? I think it means that it has all the devil fruit powers. No way. Dude, that would be insane. Here, let's just drag 3 people in the call at once.
Yo.
What's going on,
boys?
Chapter script.
Yeah, absolutely insane chapter. So what are your guys' thoughts, man?
Man, I can't believe we got an emu reveal before GTA 6.
Before GTA 6.
I'm still scared that
ultimate combination.
Some joke, like,
or like that's like the ultimate not combination, that's the ultimate competition, because Oda is the biggest blue ball author, and of course Rockstar will never put out GTA 6.
Man, I think Emu being the progenitor of devil fruits makes a lot of sense, because in the second world, isn't that when the devils spring forth? So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Wait, so do you guys think that one of the leading arguments now will be that Emu is the forest god, because people interpret the second world as the forest god creating fruits?
No, I think Emu is the sea devil.
Yeah, I like Sea Devil as well.
Yeah, it's a bit too ambiguous for right now, so we need a little more information. But I think it reminds me, like of last week or even 2 weeks ago when it was me, you, and Vincent, and we were spitballing ideas, and how he had threw out the devil fruit Adam, like one of the first fruits or something. So it's like now we're circling back to that, and also the theory that I threw out there: what if Emu made a pack? Like, what if he made a pact with an actual demon, and then in the demon's body is like, that's the red line, and so it's a testament, a temple to that demon. Like now we're getting more connective tissue to that now, because these gods in the One Piece world, they were running rampant. And so what if people's ideas and thoughts was, oh, I wish I could control these gods. Like, so after they killed them, their spirit, because spirit energy never dies, their spirits went into the devil fruits, and then they went into circulation. Just big brain for everybody.
Yeah, I was soaking that in.
Yeah, I was.
That I mean, that's plausible. I could see that being the case.
Hence, because we see with the sun god, with Nika, spirit is a devil fruit now. And every time, like in the Harley, they said when the warrior of liberation or destruction appeared, people were scared. Or he brought destruction. So that could have been someone's wish. Oh, I wish I could be the warrior of liberation.
So when you say like when you're referring back to our idea on well, it's not really my idea, but when we were talking about the Adam fruit, like ADAM, are you saying that this solidifies Chopper having it, or are you spinning it towards Emu?
No, I'm talking about Emu. No, I didn't mention Chopper. Now, Chopper, that's a whole nother situation dealing with his devil fruit. So I would say for now, it's a bit ambiguous. And I think Oda is phrasing it that way, pairing it that way, because he's waiting for a reveal a little bit further down the line with how Chopper's devil fruit is, like how he's able to smack people who have been Domi reversied, and then he's able to purge the demon from them. I either think it's him awakening his devil fruit powers, and I think it's a form of armament hockey, because we know with armament hockey that deals with attack and defense. So that's how you're able to imbue items or whatnot with hockey, with energy, because the energy never dies. Like you're able to transfer it to one conduit to another. Hence how we saw with Emeth with the hockey knot. That's a form of armament hockey. You're able to put hockey in, imbuing it into an item. So that's what I was thinking with that train of thought. Chopper is able to like use hockey, and he's using his energy force, and he's purging another energy force from someone. Think of how in Naruto with Jinchuriki, how Jinchuriki weren't able to be put under a genjutsu.
Yeah.
And then they were able to use the influence of chakra from their tail beast to be able to purge them from being under a genjutsu. So we can kind of correlate that's what's happening there. Other influence of energy to be able to purge that from them.
That's all very interesting. I'm also, trying to pivot a little bit. I'm trying to like figure out, what exactly do the leakers mean when they say devil fruit without any model? Because it could be the case that, and maybe it's still going to be ambiguous when we get the official chapter. It could be the case that Oda is blue balling. He doesn't want to show what the name of the fruit is. So he's putting a vague devil fruit. He's like saying, okay, he's going to have a fruit. I'm just not going to tell you what. Or it could be like this progenitor, like what we're kind of talking about, like this origin to the fruits, like this progenitor of devil fruits kind of thing, like the first fruit. This is going to definitely be like a hotly contested point right here. Devil fruit without any model, king of the world.
Oda blue balling? Never. He would never do anything.
Of course not.
Never. Of course not.
How about this?
I mean,
How about
just trust?
How about we have a poll to everyone watching the stream? Do the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Comment down below, chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys believe Emu has an item and it's called devil fruit. Like it's literally just that. He has the devil fruit. Like if you think like it's like the first fruit ever made or something, put a 1 in chat if you think that's the case. Or you guys
Oda, what if Emu's just holding
hold on, wait. Or you can put a 2 in the chat if you guys think that Oda is hiding what Emu's fruit is. Okay, so 1 in the chat if you think Emu's fruit, like Emu has a fruit, it's literally just called devil fruit, maybe because it's the first one or something. Or put a 2 in the chat if you think Oda's trying to hide what the name of the fruit is, so it's just this vague devil fruit. Go ahead, Smokey.
No, I was just gonna. I can't even remember. I lost it already.
He's too focused on King J talking smack to him.
No, I'm just making jokes. Why is King J talking smack to me? Doesn't surprise me.
Let's see, man. Okay, so Emu being a man. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I'm lost. That's what I have to say about that. I'm lost.
Oda fooled all of us, man. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, who's us? Who's us?
Everybody
Well,
that thought
well,
Emu
one
could have
of
been a
us
woman.
together.
Everybody that thought Emu could have been a woman.
Can I just have my big titty emu, Oda? Why?
No,
Why?
man.
Why?
Have Emu versus Ivankov, then you'll get your wish.
You versus Ivankov. Oh,
What a
God.
crazy matchup. But hey, I'm here for it. Let's see what happens.
Evil's so sad Emu wasn't a baddie, bro. How many arguments and debates did I have to go through to argue that Emu was a man? I don't want to hear this. Al.
No, for me it was a joke.
No,
like,
don't even
I
try
get
to
it.
pull that.
It was like I was just doing it as an agenda. That was the one I liked.
Yeah.
I was like, we just need more women.
Bro, no way.
The important thing for me
I feel
is
like
that
everyone's going to say that now.
the important thing for me
Every
is that we
single
could
person.
the important thing for me is that we could finally check off the bingo card, Emu face reveal. If it is a face
Oh,
reveal.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. We can check off the bingo card. Shout out to Vincent for reminding us.
Yep, we definitely can.
Thank you so much, bro.
So here's what I thought about the bingo card so far. I felt like we weren't going to hit very much early on this year, but I felt like the end of the year we were definitely going to start hitting a bunch of shit. I didn't think we would ever be checking off Emu's face reveal in 2026. Like, I think people forget how monumental this chapter is. This is defining. We're talking about 20 plus years. This is
what's
what
crazy?
we were all waiting for.
You know, the craziest thing is like there's so many points on this bingo card that you would think we would hit before Emu's face reveal.
Exactly.
I would have been thought we would have saw like the burn scar man before Emu face reveal.
Maybe it's
Right.
both. Maybe Emu and the burn scar.
Not an Emu face reveal before Dragon.
Before Dragon.
Will you do me a favor,
Dragon
please?
stalks down.
Will you do me a favor, please? Will you
What's
pull up
that?
Oda's Jump Festive message, his last one? I just kind of want to go over it, but we can do that, after we talk about whatever you guys want.
Yeah, I want to. Let's try to go through all the spoilers. Try to get all of that out the way if possible, and then maybe we could talk about some extra stuff.
All right, that's cool.
Because there's a lot of meat. There's a lot of thick, juicy
A lot of meat and taters in this chapter.
This is only the
taters.
Do you guys have a page count, like, prediction? Because it's feeling to me like with everything that's going on, like when it came to the brief summary, the reason why it was so beefy was the description of what Emu looked like, right? So I think that this chapter is going to be at least 18 pages. That's my guess.
Yo, this is the greatest thing I've seen in my life. Yo, chat, hold on. You guys got to see this. Look at what King J just sent me. One Piece reference guide. You have the father, you have God with the original Nika. First Coming, you have the original Joy Boy with Jesus. You have angels with the Lunarians. You have the flood with Noah's Ark. You have
God Valley.
You have the propaganda. Okay, normies, you guys aren't going to be able to absorb this one right here. You guys, this is anti-normie. This is only for real ones. This is for red pill enjoyers. Propaganda, right? Then you got the chosen ones. Then you got the elite. Most heinous criminal erased from history.
Yeah, why is that his
Second
comparison?
Coming. Oh my, bro, what an absolute banger. This is my favorite thing I've ever seen. I agree with all of this.
I mean, the Zebek one is questionable, but yeah, everything else.
I was going to say, why does Zebek have to be Hitler? Damn.
Because they paint Zebek as the most heinous guy. Like, they got to erase him. Like, he who shall not be named. That's exactly what they do with Uncle AH.
St. Summers being Epstein, though, just makes perfect sense. They even look alike.
Bro, chosen ones.
Like the thread.
By the way, why this bozo Summers got a metal heart, dog? what are you doing, Summers?
Yo, this is my favorite message I've ever seen. This is so perfect. First coming, angels, the flood, propaganda, chosen ones, elites. Bro, it's so funny. St. Summers really does look like this this new Epstein that they caught walking around Israel.
Oh, there was a lookalike of Epstein going around Florida.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
part of
saw
me.
that. Okay, I'm sorry. King J wanted me to look at the DMs, and I got sidetracked because that was just glorious. Where do we leave off?
We were discussing what went down in the chapter.
Let's see. Okay, so this point right here, right? I want to know what you guys think. Emu has black clouds of an awakened Zoan, but instead of a smoke cloud, the cloud has a ring design similar to Ophanim from the Bible. And let me pull up Ophanim really quick so you guys can see what they're talking about.
Yeah, I was looking at the picture of that yesterday. That thing looks crazy.
This might
It's like a bunch of eyes, huh?
Yeah, it's a bunch of eyes, basically.
This might actually prove Emu is Satan then, because we believe in Orthodox Christianity that Satan is as a fallen angel. Yeah. So hold on. Trying to share my screen. Okay, so we got right here, chat. This is what they mean by Ophanim in the Bible, and in the text chat.
Like
Emu has
the multi-ringed eye.
Multi-ringed eye. Emu has black clouds of an awakened Zoan, but instead of a smoke cloud, the cloud has a ring design similar to Ophanim. So this could be implying that Emu has these angelic traits related to him. But we can't be one-dimensional in our thinking. And when we hear angel, we're like, oh, well, he's good, he's holy. Well, no, because we believe, at least in Orthodox Christianity, that there are fallen angels. Right? There's good angels, and then there's these bad fallen angels, also known as demons. So if Emu is with the Gorsei doing all this occult stuff, using pentagrams, capturing little girls like Bonnie and Boa and whatnot, using pentagrams, pulling out these satanic Lesser Key of Solomon type books, if they have all that going on, and then we see like this angelic kind of depiction tying into Emu, then I would argue that it's clearly implying Emu's a fallen angel like Satan. But let me hear what you guys think.
Bro, I think Emu's like Satan in the sense that he was probably kicked off the moon. I think he's a fallen Lunarian. So I think he was probably practicing like the black magic or something. Whatever he was doing got him to be banished from the moon. And he ended up just using Earth as like his world that he wanted to conquer.
Very interesting. I like that. That's actually sick.
Yeah,
I like that. A fallen Lunarian from the moon that fell to Earth.
It's actually pretty sick. Because I mean, you have like these multiple sky races that are said to come from the moon. You got the Birkins, Shandians, the Skypeans. They're all from the moon. So if there's another winged race in One Piece and Oda's adding like a bigger emphasis to them, hence Lunarians, then who's to say they're not from the moon as well? Maybe they came from the moon before the three sky races.
See, when I first heard the rings, my mind was thinking to the Bleach one shot that Koda did it, and it's basically reference to
I don't know that.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the image. Yeah, to one of the Espada from Bleach. The guy that from the one shot of Bleach to Hell, they had these hollows that had this ring at the back of them that kind of looked like a halo. His name is hard to pronounce. It's like super long. don't get shit, but he's the he's like the pink-haired Espada from Bleach, the dude with the head, the dude that was kind of like a scientific kind of dude. But let me show you his. Hang on. He this is basically his design. If you can widen my screen.
Yeah. Let me put you full screen. Okay, there we go.
This is basically his design, and this is what I thought Emu would look like.
Oh, that's actually a sick design.
Yeah. So that's what I
So
thought.
you don't think you don't think that anymore, though?
I mean, it's very possible that's still the case, but it's very, very hard to tell what it is until we actually see what it looks like. But
Right.
seeing the multiple ringed eye creature there, it would make very much more sense if he actually was like based off of a inhuman like divine creature.
Now, just to kind of like piggyback off that in a way, again, when we're seeing this, or at least when we're hearing about this this style of Emu, this artistic direction of Emu, where there's like all these eyes on him or around him, I was actually, well, you know what came to my mind actually was that one character in Demon Slayer towards the end of the narrative that has like all, like he has 6 eyes on his face, and then his sword has a ton of eyes on it.
Oh, Kokushima.
Yeah,
Upper moon. Upper moon.
Yeah,
I don't remember that dude's name, but probably that's his name.
I know
Kokushibo. He's Upper
Yeah,
Moon 1.
Kokushibo. Yeah.
He's Upper Moon 1.
Yeah, if I recall, he's the brother of the very first Hashira.
Yeah, brother of Michikatsu.
So maybe this is giving us the hint that Emu is the brother of Joy Boy, kind of like how it's Lucifer.
Is he Joy Boy's brother?
Cook.
Let Vincent cook.
I would actually
brother of Joy Boy.
I want Emu to have close ties with Joy Boy. It'll make Joy Boy's defeat that much more impactful if it comes from somebody close to him.
Nah, I'm still holding out that Emu is Joy Boy's baby mama. Emu took a man's body.
Well, I mean, you think about it this way: if you piggyback off of mine again, where they're siblings, maybe they're the sons of Davy Jones, meaning Davy Jones was the king of the world, and they were the 2 princes of the world. So we have Davy D. Joy Boy and Davy D. Emu.
So you're saying Davy ruled the ancient kingdom?
Basically.
I mean, Davy Jones could have. I'm not trying to nitpick, but Davy Jones could have been king of the world without being king of ancient kingdom.
Fair enough. That is true.
Not trying to nitpick, but
no, it doesn't have to be that way. You're right.
So you both could have a piece of the pie, but okay. So Emu and Joy Boy being brothers, yeah. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, brother rivalry. But the interesting thing here is Joy Boy,
right?
Joy Boy is a dead man. Joy Boy's a dead man, so maybe it could even be a mix. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau.
And as we
one is the child of promise, one is a child of bondage.
No tales.
Actually, Jacob and Esau is actually an interesting one, because if, in case you guys aren't aware of that, in again Orthodox Christianity, in the Bible, we have 2 brothers, Jacob and Esau. They both are they're both the son of a prominent figure. I'm not going to make this too complicated. And Jacob is a child of promise, versus Esau, he's a child of bondage, because Esau was the son of a slave woman, but Jacob was the son of a free woman. And this plays a very integral role into Christianity, where, the people of Jacob are free, but the people of Esau are stuck in the law. They're stuck in slavery. They're stuck in bondage. So, the reason I find this interesting for One Piece, though, is because I'm trying to keep this very simple so it's not too confusing. In the real world, people like me we would argue, if you guys could read in between the lines, I would argue the people that say that they're the chosen ones, if you guys can read in between the lines, they claim that they're the ones of Jacob. But I would say, no, they're not. They're actually of Esau because of the way they live and because they denied the Messiah. So it could be the same kind of thing where in One Piece, the Celestial Dragons, Emu and his people, they think they're the ones of Jacob. Just like how in our real world, you know, these chosen people, they think they're the ones of Jacob, but they're really not. So you would have two sides. You would have Joy Boy and Emu, they're brothers. Joy Boy came from the free woman. Emu came from the slave woman. Emu and his descendants, they think that they're the promised one. They're the free one, when in reality they're not.
And this could be what Oda was trying to go with introducing Kozuki Odin and Kozuki Moria, a child of freedom and a child of imprisonment.
That as well.
Okay.
That as well. But Cain and Abel, you know, that's more straightforward. You have Cain and Abel. Abel's the one that's offering the good sacrifices to God. Cain is the one that's not offering as good sacrifices. Cain's jealous of Abel and kills Abel, right? Kills his own brother. So you
that has to break a few commandments.
It breaks multiple, yeah. Emu is jealous of Joy Boy, goes and kills his own brother.
Probably for stealing the heart of Lily.
Yeah, or the heart of Lily. Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, they was beefing over that girl. That's where it all started from. It started from that woman right there, Lily.
A 900-year war.
But I think, don't you guys remember, like during the message, during Vegapunk's message, how he said how he didn't want to place blame on anyone?
Yeah.
So now it was like Oda was leaving it ambiguous, so we could think now with information that we have, maybe the coalition of governments, it might have been good people who thought they were doing the right things at the time, but then over time, that's when the waters got muddied, if that makes sense.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I feel like because the Nefeltaris are part of the original 20, so they can't all be bad. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting twist because they're a part of the 20, although they didn't go to Marijoy, you know.
Yeah, so they left. 19. They left, but you
Smokey, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not trying to critique everything you say. I'm sorry,
bro. Threevil, get off my theorizing.
I want to go back to that really quick, Damon. That comment from Vegapunk or Stella, where he's talking about how he can't judge who's right or wrong. That is one of the most fascinating comments because I think there's so many different ways to look at it, and maybe they're all true. Maybe there is no one size fits all. Maybe there's no one direction you could go with it. But
I think that's what Oda wanted, though, right? For us to see it in so many different ways.
I could definitely agree with that because think about it. So let's preface with these spoilers here about it, and let's just run with it. The tangent. If Emu had the first devil fruit, he might have took up the mantle of wanting to put together the coalition of governments because of everything that was happening, because these gods are running rampant, and he feels like he needs to protect his people. So him thinking that, he's probably main character minded. He's like, you know what? If we can't control these gods, we need to find a way to destroy them, to be able to protect ourselves, and then wish for a way to be able to protect our people. And if we have a hand on the wheel, it's better than having a hand on the wheel and not having a hand on the wheel, if that makes sense. And then that's how you get the interpretation, like with devil fruits being born and then wishing, souls and energy and going to the fruits and everything. And then that became a way of devil fruits, those energies going into fruits, and then people being able to control them, so to speak.
Like how
If
in
I
the
could
Harley
go
text was
another
harvesting
direction.
the energy. Oh, my bad, my bad.
No, you're fine. Go, bro.
Oh, I was saying maybe the thing they was fighting for was sharing out the energy that it was harvesting in the Harley text. Maybe the complication was wanting to share it with the world or keep it to the ancient kingdom.
Yeah, this greed. I mean,
Greed,
that's
yeah.
very
I do think
possible.
that was a conduit between the kings and the sovereigns, between them and the ancient kingdom, because maybe the ancient kingdom was, because they said it was so advanced, and that they felt that, oh well, maybe like I can equate it back to Wakanda again. Like the ancient kingdom felt that the outside world was catching up, and they wanted to put distance between themselves and the rest of the world before they caught up with them technologically wise. So it was a, we have to get them before they get us type of thing. So with that
Yeah,
train of thought, I can understand the coalition of governments all coming together and saying, look, the ancient kingdom, they're too advanced, we have nothing to stop them, and they're keeping all that technology to themselves. We need to come together to be able to destroy them. If they're not going to work together with the rest
yeah.
of us, they need to be eradicated, if that makes sense.
There's probably elements to that of propaganda, because we also see that being employed all throughout the storyline of One Piece. They're using it against Zebek. They're using it against God Valley. We're seeing them use it with Smoker, Luffy, and Crocodile at Alabasta time and time again. So there could be an element of propaganda. Emu's going and telling these 19 kingdoms, these 19 kings, hey, the ancient kingdom is doing this. Hey, they did that. Hey, they did this. And it's just a whole bunch of lies. But if I could go back really quick to that statement of Vegapunk saying he cannot say who's right or wrong, who's good or evil. Again, I think there's many different ways of looking at it, and I wouldn't sit here and say like, no, it means this and only this. Like, no, I think it probably means a bunch of different things. But one thing that I would want to introduce is I think that statement from Vegapunk is very consistent with his character, and this is what I mean, right? Vegapunk is a science guy. Typically speaking, science dudes, they usually fall in line with empiricism. They fall in line with materialism. So these, like a lot of the science people that you'll meet, including in the real world, right? They believe you can't really know something, or you shouldn't believe something unless you can empirically see it, unless you can see it with your eyes, or receive it through your sense data. And there's a famous problem. There's a famous problem of this, right? Where if everything right in this world is just atoms, everything is just matter in motion. That's all everything boils down to, because you can't see the soul, you can't see heaven, you can't see hell, you can't see angels. All we really know is a physical universe. If everything is just matter in motion, then you can't really call something good or evil. And again, I've stated this a few times. Famous problem articulated by David Hume, famous atheist. He posits and he argues that if everything is just matter in motion, we can't actually establish something as being good or bad. Because when we look at a certain activity, right? If Vegapunk looks at, let's say he looks at these 19 kings committing a genocide on the ancient kingdom. Let's say he looks at that act. That's just a descriptive statement. That's just a descriptive fact, right? That's one category. But the idea that the 19 kings should not have done that to the ancient kingdom, that's a whole different thing. That's a prescriptive statement. That's a moral prerogative. That is a moral statement. Those are two different categories. So under Vegapunk's persona of being this materialist, empiricist kind of guy because he's into science, you can't actually bridge the difference between a descriptive statement and a prescriptive statement. You can't look and say like, oh, well, if someone's bleeding, you ought to heal the wound. Those are two different categories. And of course, people are not going to be thinking that way. Like if someone just got shot, you're not going to be thinking like, oh, well, a descriptive statement of them bleeding is a separate category from the prescriptive statement of let me call an ambulance. You're not going to be thinking about that. You're probably going to go call the ambulance. But under someone like Vegapunk, under their worldview, under their persona, they can't actually justify if something's good or evil without just saying, oh, it is, or just like avoiding the question altogether. So I think one of the ways of looking at, if we go all the way back to the beginning of this, one of the ways to look at that statement is Vegapunk is the kind of guy that can't account for good and evil at all because he's just a science guy. So of course he's going to look at these things that happened and say like, oh, well, I can't say who's good or evil because all this guy knows is atoms and matter and molecules.
Well, the piggyback on that, he was remaining objective because all he could do was just look at the data that was presented to him from the past in the void century. So, and then to just look from that and how there might have been the world government in its origins, or in theory with it being put together, it might have not been bad. Like I said, it could have been a coalition of people who wanted to come together, who wanted to save the world, but then it developed and turned into something evil. So he just didn't want to preface it as the world government being bad with not having that concrete evidence on what it was based on.
Yeah, I understand that, but even though, like, even if you have, like, let's say he had the facts that the world government, you know, Emu and Co, you know, did this one thing to Joy Boy, or they did that one thing to this world. You can't actually, with like this materialist empiricist view, if everything is just atoms, if everything is just particles, if everything's just matter in motion, you can't bridge the gap between a descriptive fact and ethics. Those are two different categories. So I think it's actually very within Vegapunk's persona. It's very consistent of him, even if he didn't have all the facts, which maybe that's the case, but it's very consistent of him to not actually be able to voice and explain what's good or bad, because everything is just atoms. Anything just goes. If everything is just matter in motion, if everything is just particles, if everything is just like molecules, then nothing really matters. There's no teleology to anything. There's no meaning to anything. And if there's no meaning to anything, if there's no inherent purpose, if there's no inherent goal to human life or a body or anything, then it doesn't really matter what happens to humans. What really matters is the data, ones and zeros.
Okay, so you're saying Vegapunk, that statement was just based up more about his worldview than him trying to be objective.
I mean, I would say there's many different ways to read that statement. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I think like if this was the case, I think it makes a lot of sense that it's within his persona to say something like that. But it also could be that maybe he didn't have all the information. Maybe he doesn't want to cause an uproar. I mean, it could be multiple things at the same time. But I've just been thinking about lately. I've been thinking about this possibility, his persona, his worldview. And I thought about it. I was like, of course he would say something like that.
I can kind of correlate it like this. When you look at a gun, right? Is a gun evil, or is the person with the malicious intent using the gun evil? Think about it like that. It's all about a view, a spectrum of angles. Hence, like with devil fruits could possibly have a bad origin or bad energy tied along with them, but we see the good that can come from people who have devil fruits. You see what I'm saying? Like how you took a negative and you spin it into a positive. It's all about a spectrum of angles, and that's what I think Vegapunk was getting at. It's all about a spectrum of angles.
Yeah, that gets tricky. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Damien, if you're comparing devil fruits to guns, what would Loki and Luffy have?
Oh, he has the great equalizer because he has the Sun God Nika fruit.
I was gonna say a rocket launcher,
mythical gold Sun God model Nika. That's the big joker. If we have any spades aficionados out there, that's the big joker right there.
You know, Damon, to add to what you're saying, we see exactly what you're saying, because you're spot on, illustrated in Robin's flashback. We see this conversation, this argument going on between Clover and the Celestial Dragons on the phone. They're arguing, hey, you shouldn't read the poneglyphs because you can abuse that knowledge by reviving the ancient weapons. And he's arguing, bro, I'm only reading the poneglyphs so I could learn about the world. So it's kind of like what you're describing with the devil fruits. Like, no one should have a devil fruit because, oh, well, you might destroy the world. But I want a devil fruit to feed my kids.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
my
So
question.
what you said,
Yeah.
I think is spot on. But there's probably all sorts of ways of looking at it. I don't even think like it's like a mutually exclusive thing. I bet like, because we all know how Oda writes, he's gonna like have like one statement. He's gonna have like this one idea. He's gonna have like this one moment that goes in 6 different directions, and they're all like equal. They're all true. There's no like one answer kind of thing.
And I think that's purposeful on Oda's part. Like he wanted to be up to interpretation. He wants to lead people. He wants to lead the readers to that
Conclusion.
realization, but then it be open up to interpretation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of authors, they know they have to give the audience, give the readers some breathing room, give them some wiggle room to add their own imagination and interact with the plot back and forth, by leaving certain aspects ambiguous. And I think Oda's pretty good at that, but maybe sometimes it's a little too ambiguous.
Yeah, he overdoes it.
Yeah. One statement is 10 different things usually with Oda.
I'm pretty sure Oda has the vague no me in real life.
Vague no me. He just spits out vague riddles all day.
The ball fruit model blue.
Vegapunk is a consistent scientist. He doesn't want to theorize info he doesn't have until he could just test to discover it. If you look up the Orphanim and Merkaba, a heavenly chariot or throne / empty throne. Orphanim.
Interesting.
Let me look that up. Let me look that up. What the bro? Google's telling me it's detected unusual traffic for my computer. Makes me laugh how if no God, people can instantly go to I can kill everyone and have zero morals or empathy or no self-control.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Celestial.
What was that? What happened?
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought you were saying something. You there?
That's why I stopped.
I heard you spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Wait,
you were saying something.
Yeah,
Wait,
I heard what he said.
I'm confused. What happened?
I heard what he said.
Yeah, Will of Dreams. The point is that going from a descriptive statement to a prescriptive statement is a category error. And everything is just matter. Everything is just molecules, right? There's no teleology to anything.
What kind of interests me about Imu's form is that it describes him having Mihawk's eyes. So what's your thoughts on that, Brevel?
Oh God, here we go.
And I don't even
Mihawk
know.
is descendant.
I think like there's ring eye stuff in One Piece. I'm still led to believe it's a design choice, but I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. It's a good question, but there's just way too many characters. I can't find that photo I made like ages ago where I listed out like 18 different characters with the ring eyes. Like what's the common denominator between Zunisha, Hakuba, Mihawk, Big Mom, Caribou, Daifuku's double fruit, like carrot? I don't see what the common denominator is.
They all breathe through their mouth instead of their nose.
So the mouth bringers have ring eyes.
Does that mean Mihawk's a mouth breather then?
Oh,
absolutely.
That's blasphemy.
Hey, you brought it up.
He brought it up. I didn't say mouth breather. I would never call Mihawk a mouth breather.
I will.
Yeah, because you're an uncultured man.
Sure am, buddy. Thank you, sir.
What if Emu's throne is inspired by Solomon's throne? Is Emu based on Solomon? Maybe.
Isn't Solomon supposed to be a great sorcerer or something?
I mean, that's what some people say. Well, would Joy Boy be David then?
Right.
Mm.
Then he'd have to be Emu's dad.
Yeah. His own son betrayed him. Hey,
That would be a crazy
Loki
twist.
killed his dad. Doflamingo killed his dad. Emu killed his dad. Ha
Hey,
With Emu,
maybe
it's
because of
literally
difference
sins of
of
father.
perspective.
Dude, wait. I've seen people say that Emu is Joy Boy's brother. Emu is Joy Boy's baby mama, but I've never seen someone say that Emu is Joy Boy's son. Have
That would
you
be a
guys seen
pretty
that
good
before?
twist.
Then maybe we
That's the
could
first time
take
I
this
heard
from.
that.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard someone say maybe it was his son. But I've heard the brother theory or some family relation before.
I mean, if we're going with the son
Maybe they-
theory, then maybe we can make it like
Wait.
What happened?
Wait. Emu is Joy Boy's son, and Emu's mom is Lily. Emu's obsessed with Lily because that was his mom, and he wants Vivi because that's like his like great. Who would that be to Emu actually? What would he if Vivi is a descendant of Lily, and then Lily is Emu's mom? What does that make Vivi in relation to Emu?
I would just say
His
they're
super
cousins.
great daughter.
No, literally, Vivi's like 30 generations downwards in this hypothetical. Because look, so Joy Boy and Lily, they had a baby named Emu, right? But then in this hypothetical, Lily, like 80 generations down, had Vivi. So what would Vivi be to Emu? Like I don't even know what that would, like a great grand cousin or something.
Probably his great granddaughter or something. If Lily's his mom, like a great granddaughter.
Well, not
I'm sure
daughter.
there's
If Emu didn't, if Vivi didn't come from Emu but came from the, actually no, because then
Emu would have came from Lily. Because his child would be Lily would be Emu's child's grandparent. You feel me? So that's right.
It would depend on if it
But
came
that would come from the
Emu or
Nefertari
Joy Boy.
side. So that would be like his, like you said, like his cousin, like several generations. I don't know if she would be removed or not. But yeah, that if she was from the Nefertari side of their family.
Wait. It would depend on if Lily comes from. Okay, in this hypothetical, right? It would depend if Vivi comes from Joy Boy or Emu, right? Because we wouldn't believe in this scenario that Joy Boy and Lily had a kid outside of Emu.
If Emu and Vivi are related, I don't think it matters. It'd just be spare parts for him. That's why he desires her.
Because look, if Vivi is a descendant of Lily, then doesn't that mean Lily had kids?
Yeah, but that
or
would mean
either
that
the brother did.
Christ.
But so
remember, Vivi had a brother. I mean, not
or even
not
a sister.
Vivi, but Lily had a brother. Lily had a brother. We know that for a fact. He was searching for her after she disappeared.
Yeah.
So that would still count as her descendant if it's her brother.
So if it's not if it's not Lily's bloodline, but her brother's bloodline, that would make them cousins.
Mm-hmm.
It would make Emu.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be cousins. I just don't know if they would be like, would it be like removed, first removed, second removed, or whatever, but they would still be distantly related.
Several generations removed.
Right.
7?
Almost 9 generations removed.
Wait, how many years are in a generation on average?
think isn't it like 10?
I don't know the average, but usually a generation can span between 10 to like 15 years. Something like that.
Bro, since Emu's now affecting the surrounding buildings and trees, Luffy needs to learn what his fruit excuse me, what his fruit is. He should tap into that imagination ability. A generation's 20 to 30 years.
That's like
When I was
That's like-
thinking when you said Emu could be Joy Boy's son, I was thinking like kind of like how
Like
Luffy's
36 generations.
I was thinking like if Emu is the son of Joy Boy and Joy Boy could be the son of Davy Jones, it could be like how it is with Garp, Dragon, and Luffy. It's 3 different generations. So Emu would be the Luffy, Joy Boy would be Dragon, and Davy Jones would be Garp.
Let that boy Vincent cook. Again going off this trend. Dude.
But
Luffy-
there's just one flaw in that though.
Let's hear it.
Because Joy Boy was the first pirate, you know?
Ooh. Well, maybe Davy Jones wasn't a pirate. Oh no, Davy Jones was a pirate.
Okay. If you do frame it that Davy wasn't a pirate, then okay.
No. Didn't they say he was a pirate?
But like the Davy back fights, yeah.
So that means Davy was running around after Joy Boy.
Or
Unless
in
they're
the same
hiding it.
generation. And Joy Boy was just the first to go to sea.
Davy or Joy Boy inspired Davy Jones?
And that could be what Emu's issue is with Joy Boy. He was abandoned as a child, and that's why he hates pirates.
I just know Oda is gonna find a way to sappy up Emu, so we feel sorry for him. I just know he's gonna do it.
I'm liking
Yeah.
the brother theory. Liking the brother theory. Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys what do you think about the implications of the spoilers prefacing that Emu is possibly a Lunarian? What you guys feel about the fallout of that?
Emu taking out his own people so he could be their leader and their god.
I mean, if Emu was the Lunarian, that is basically what it would imply. Since the Celestials are the ones that removed the Lunarians from the Red Line.
Maybe he's a Shandorian that wanted to be a Lunarian, so he took demonic terms to get there. Maybe Shandorian is just a lower level of Lunarian.
Okay, hold on. This is going to be off topic. I apologize. One Piece is definitely about the Jays and the hitting of the millennial reign of Jesus. I agree with the first half 100%. But I would argue
definitely, yeah.
I would argue like the last half. I think I disagree with the last half because I'm Oriental Orthodox, so we follow the early church fathers for like everything, right? We would argue that we are the early church, but how we view that, with this so-called this premillennial view of the early church, or I'm sorry, of Jesus' kingdom, we would say that we hold like a millennial view. Because we see in sacred scripture that it said Jesus' kingdom will have no end. So, and plus Jesus' kingdom is not even of this world. So we wouldn't view that Jesus has a kingdom of this world and that it's limited. We would interpret it in a more symbolic view. Because we see like in like the rest of sacred scripture, when they say years or days, it's not a literal day, it's not a literal year, it's more of a symbolic kind of thing, which would be hard to determine. And when you see like this view, what you're talking about, like this premillennial view, it usually comes out of Protestantism, and that meaning like this is all like new ideas that doesn't follow the early church. But that's what I wanted to say about that. If we could go back to the Emu stuff though, Emu being a Lunarian, I think let me see if I can find it. We had a message earlier from King J. he kind of explained, I have it right here. He explained that we have been saying how Dofi and NL parallel Emu. Doflamingo is a fallen celestial dragon who stands against celestial dragons to become God. NL is a Birkin who stood against other Birkins to become their god. So I believe Emu is a Lunarian who killed the whole Lunarian race to be the only god. The reason for this slight difference in appearance is because he probably ate a Lucifer / devil fruit. He used a dragon form or a dragon-like form against Sabo. What we're seeing here could be the hybrid form. So we could toy around with that idea. And one thing I would add to what King J is saying is we were also told from Marco and Whitebeard that the land above the red line where the Lunarians are from was like a kingdom of the gods. So it's kind of interesting that Emu is probably a Lunarian. The Lunarians come from above the red line. The Lunarians lived above the red line in a kingdom of gods, but then the Lunarians were wiped out. So it almost guarantees Emu betrayed his own people. Because weren't we led to believe that the celestial dragons, the 19 kings, they moved up and lived on top of the red line? Well, apparently there were already people there. The Lunarians were already there, right? And if Emu's a Lunarian, then that's definitely leading to some conclusions. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about like how they were displaced as a people because like with prior knowledge, we had heard that they had settled above the red line. So now we're getting more exposition to it now with this possible Emu reveal and him being a Lunarian. Yeah, so there can be some credence to that he possibly betrayed his people. You know, it was one of those, it was going to be an uprising. Let's say we could correlate it to how with the Uchihas in Naruto, it was going to be a coup, so to speak. And to quell that coup, you know, spoilers, Itachi was the one who eliminated the rest of his clan. So it could be prefaced as that.
Man, every time I
Didn't
hear
give you any
Naruto, I think about Obito.
I like this idea of like what you just said, like, you know, similar to Naruto, they had a coup. I think that's really, I always kind of like intuitively felt that there was like some kind of propaganda, some coup, some kind of, you know, some kind of dirty work going on. So I could see that. I would agree.
I thought Emu's middle name was Dirty Work. What do you mean? I agree. No, I agree. I feel like that there was trickery, there was a coup, there was some dirty play going on, man. I know everything didn't go to plan because if it did, then Emu would have the One Piece and the world would be completely screwed.
No, the coup was Emu coming back and taking revenge. I'm thinking that they banished him. He lost his wings, came back with the 20 kingdoms. The Lunarians.
Yeah, I think
And that's why he's him and King are yeah.
They kicked him out and he wanted his
get
back.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I think that's very plausible.
Yo, Damal hasn't missed at all today. Damal and Vincent, MVPs. Don't worry, Damon. Damon, you and Smokey, you two have been saying your thing. You guys have been saying your piece. You guys have been cooking as well. But Damal and Vincent might be my MVPs this stream.
Thank you, man.
You see how he's got us all competing? He's instigating us.
Yeah, I want beef. I want you guys to start arguing.
I have no bad blood with anybody here.
Yeah, everybody got some
Damon said you smell.
Who said that?
Nobody.
That's all.
If Emu is a Lunarian, do you think he lost flame for the crimes he committed and is trying to reclaim it through the mother flame?
That would be interesting. If like the flames could be removed, that would be kind of crazy.
That's probably how he lost his fire.
Yup, in his wounds.
I bet Vegapunk was experimenting on that with King. I bet he was trying to see if he could remove King's flame.
Yo, who forgot to mute, bro?
What happened?
Someone forgot to mute.
Did you not hear that big ass belch?
Oh.
Is Smokey good over there? It sounds like he switched his breathing to manual.
That wasn't even me. All right. I know that was
That
L's
wasn't you.
bitch ass. I knew L's bitch ass
Oh.
would say something. I saw that earlier, by the way, L. You know what, Jack Black? If you got something to say, you come in here and say it to me like a man. Okay, SA?
And last longer
I
than
think
30
Joy
seconds.
Boy. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was just saying
Mm-mm-mm.
into L lasts longer than 30 seconds. Go ahead, Dane.
He can't. He's a one pump chump.
I think Joy Boy doesn't have a brother. Does Jesus have a brother? No, we don't believe. I don't believe Jesus has a brother. You do have verses in scripture where it says Jesus and his brethren. The original Greek is a general term for friends and close ones. It's not actual brothers. But I would say, Johan, that I might argue Joy Boy is inspired by someone like Jesus, but I would never argue that they have to be one of one, or one, not one of one. They are like a copy and paste. I wouldn't argue that. In fact, I would say that Luffy and Emu, they probably are inspired by several figures each. So I think Emu's probably inspired by like 6 different people.
I mean, with Luffy, we got Jesus and Wukong.
And Hanumanji.
Exactly.
Now I might emphasize Jesus a lot, but that's because I think this the Jesus aspect of Luffy or Joy Boy plays into multiple things in the plot. But of course, I've compared Luffy to Hanumanji.
By the way, guys, don't tell my mom that. If she knew I forgot Hanumanji, she would beat my ass. I'm not trying to get my ass beat today.
Hanumanji ate the sun thinking it was a fruit. Hanumanji's grandfather was an army militant kind of guy. Hanumanji's father is the Lord of the Winds. There's a lot of things tying Luffy to Hanumanji.
Isn't his father Garuda? No, maybe that's not right.
I think Hanumanji's father is Vayu. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Vayu. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. I don't know why I was thinking of Garuda. I was thinking of winds, probably. That's why.
Didn't Jesus see his apostles as his brothers? So Judas was his brother. Yeah, I see Jesus as my brother, but we don't take it in a literal way. We say brother as like a comrade, almost like a term of endearment.
Yeah, I call the homies brothers, but I actually treat them like they are my brothers. But biologically they're not.
Luffy will become Jesus where Joy Boy failed to be. I think that picture or those pictures King J sent earlier says it perfectly. I see the original Joy Boy as Jesus when he came and had his earthly ministry, whereas Luffy is the second coming of Jesus, right? Who's coming to kick Satan down and kick Satan out. That's what again, Orthodox Christianity teaches, Protestants, most Christians believe in this, but so like they're both Jesus, but different functions.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Wasn't John the Baptist Jesus's brother? No, John the Baptist was like a cousin of Jesus, if anything. He was the son of, what was John the Baptist's mom's name again? Elizabeth, yeah. No, that they weren't brothers.
Elizabeth, Lily.
Elizabeth, Lily. Oh shoot, maybe there's a John. Bro, I was gonna ask if there were Johns in One Piece. We do have Johns in One Piece.
John is John.
Judas betrayed Jesus. That makes sense. Yeah. So if Joy Boy, took out, or I'm sorry, if Emu took out Joy Boy, it could be a Cain and Abel thing. It could be a Judas and Jesus thing. There's a lot of options there.
I still like the idea of the Joy Boy and Emu being like Michael and Lucifer, because now I can imagine the One Piece actually being the sword of Michael. And we talked about how you have to find the One Piece before you could defeat Emu. So what if it's a literal sword that can kill the devil?
That's sick.
Mhm.
Archangel Michael versus Satan. Wow. And you know, Archangel Michael, he's leader of the angels. So if the typical One Piece reader might see Luffy and Co as the good guys, then it could be like the angels versus the demons. I like that. Does Emu have the original devil fruit? No model is suspicious as hell. That's what I was kind of thinking.
Emu and Luffy
The
got the first.
Akua no me.
By the way, you guys in the voice call, you guys can hop in and say your piece as well.
Yeah, I think Luffy has the second devil fruit. Like Emu has the first one, and Luffy's was manifested in order to counteract Emu. So the Nika fruit was made to counteract Emu. Then all the other fruits was just made after that.
Nature doesn't like imbalance, so that would make sense.
My opinion, I kind of think that Luffy kind of has the essence of Ace's devil fruit after he died. Because if they're connected to the spirit and Luffy carries on that spirit, maybe Ace passed on his power to his little brother to help him out. Because all of a sudden, Luffy can shoot out Red Hawks and Red Rocks and all that. So what if he has two devil fruits, one that is the Zoe and one that is the Logia?
But see, Saldo has the Marimara no me. That's the problem, though.
I'm not saying that it was absorbed in
You're
the
saying
traditional
essence,
thing.
right? You're saying
I'm saying,
essence, right?
Yeah, like Sabo has the body
Okay.
of the Marimara,
Got you.
but Luffy has the spirit.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I have to wrap up here in a few minutes, guys. We're gonna continue talking and chatting for a little bit, but just a heads up, if you guys are enjoying the stream, do me a favor, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff so we could grow the channel. I greatly appreciate it. But we'll stay here for a little bit longer, chatting some more, taking in some questions. Thank you guys for being here. Banger chapter.
And this is only the short summary.
Yeah.
By the way, we got a break next week, guys.
You know what? I'm fine with the break if the chapter's this good.
I am too.
And this guarantees you guys have an anniversary chapter for y'all.
Wait, anniversary chapter? What do you mean?
You and Dawn, you have a chapter coming out on your anniversary day.
You hear him? That's true. I'm surprised you even thought of something like that.
I mean, it's on the most notable day for most of us. You guys got married on 4/20.
Oh
True.
shit!
That
I'm a bad stoner. No wonder I forgot that's what it was.
Bad stoner.
I'm a bad stoner, a bad friend, and everything. I completely forgot about that.
Maybe okay. So Johan says maybe Jesus of Nazareth for Joy Boy and Jesus Christ for Luffy. So I don't want to misunderstand you or misinterpret anything you're saying, but I would say that Jesus of Nazareth and Jesus Christ is the same exact person. The only difference is we would most Christians, if not all Christians, would believe that Christ is coming down from heaven for the second coming. He's not going to be born again of a woman. Whereas Luffy clearly was born of a woman. So
Tritoma. Let's go.
Tritoma. So there would be a difference there where if Luffy was inspired by Christ, then rather than Luffy descending out of heaven, Luffy, lived life like a child or whatever. Altair says, spot on, Eddie, on the fact Oda's story incorporates real-world places, people, and philosophies. Yeah, 100%. You can see this all throughout One Piece, all different type of philosophical worldviews. You see materialists, you see theists, right? That's why there's all these gods. You see the nihilists. You see the might is right. You see all these things in One Piece. You have Oda saying this island's based on France. This island's based on Italy.
Oh yeah, a bunch of different cultures as well.
All different types of cultures, exactly. All different types of things. So you got to ask yourself, okay, when we're getting to the crux of the story, Joy Boy and Emu, well, who are they? What is that about? And it's going to be based off something. Vivi symbolically, Mary combines the fact that she is represented in blue and Alabasta with Egypt. Are you saying Vivi is symbolically Mary? We all thinking Emu offed his clan, the Lunarians. Do you guys in voice chat agree?
Yeah, I would
If
agree
him-
that he would.
If that,
his own kind.
if we're going with Joy Boy is, I mean, if Emu is Lily's son, yeah.
And then, would that make Joy Boy a Lunarian then?
You know, I was just about to say
that's
that might be
actually a
possible
good
because I
question.
did see the Nika silhouette had the black skin with the white hair, so maybe they was the last two Lunarians. Maybe they were supposed to stick together.
And that's what makes Emu so rare. He's actually a hybrid between human and Lunarian.
You know what it was? It was probably, dude, I'll tell you what it was. Hold on, this stupid Windows thing. Bro, hold on. You guys can go ahead. Okay, got it. I love that take. Maybe it was like this idea where Emu wanted to be the king, the leader of the Lunarians, the god of the Lunarians. Nika / Joy Boy, he was the one that was meant to be. And he denied the true king, the true god, and now he's coming back like Jesus. So it's like almost like this Cain and Abel brotherly rivalry kind of thing. They're both Lunarians, but Emu's so egotistical, so prideful. He wants to be the king. He wants to be the god. He wants to be the leader, but he's that's not his role.
He's just the second fiddle, but he wanted to be front and center.
Exactly.
False god.
I want to play this clip from L really quick. I feel like I know what this is gonna be.
Got the game on this one, bro. That emu, bro. That emu face reveal is gonna go crazy. That emu face reveal is gonna go. Chad, this is what Oda needs to do. I don't even care if Oda's being unoriginal by stealing someone's fan art. I don't care. You're a go author. Steal
Oh
it.
yeah, I remember this. Caught in 4K. Caught in 4K.
Bro, I promise you guys that is AI. I don't know how he did that, but that is AI.
Sure it is.
Bro, I did not say any of that.
I did not
That
say
is
those
pure AI.
wonderful things.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman,
I did not get googity her geschmoigen.
and I do not apologize.
Giggity giggity. Giggity goo.
Giggity gig.
All right, one more comment from Standy Man before we head out, and everyone in voice chat, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in response to this. Stan says, I'm still trying to wrap my head around why Emu would want King experimented on instead of killing him if he was already a Lunarian.
Because King has his flame, right?
Because Emu saw a beneficial return. Research for him to improve what he wanted.
Damal has a point. King still had his flame. Does Emu not have the flame? He's like, yo, do experiments on King. I want my flame back. Joy Boy probably took the flame out. Joy Boy probably extinguished that man.
Yo, I mean, I said it earlier. It would make sense if Vegapunk was doing experiments to remove the flame on King.
Yo, Joy Boy pulled out a fire extinguisher on that boy.
Maybe this is the whole reason behind the whole Seraphim project. Emu's trying to create an artificial Lunarian body for him to inhabit.
Oh, dude, S-Emu. S-Emu. S-Demon.
Exactly.
S-Devil.
S-Devil. Oh, bro, could you imagine a Seraphim? Yo, Vincent, what were you doing before the stream to be on this level today?
I was on my bong, bud.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Hey.
In fact, after this stream, I'm going to go right back to it.
Cheers, motherfucker.
Okay, so Damal, I'm going to go with Damal on this one. They were experimenting on King because let's use L because L lost his flame. And they're thinking, yo, I want the flame back. Experiment on King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking maybe he just lost the flame because he was just banished. Like I think that's just was a byproduct of him just getting kicked off the red line of the moon, wherever the Lunarians are at originally. I think that just might have been a byproduct of him just being sit down to the earth. That's probably why he hates it so much.
But I mean, do you really think like if he leaves the red line, like the flame would turn off? Like it almost seems a little arbitrary, you know? Like it only
That might be more. No, I think like they had ancient technology. It probably had something to do with that.
Or
they took something away from him that made him different from the rest of the other races, and they sent him down to be with the other races.
That made him an outcast. Yeah, like they stripped him.
Yeah.
They stripped him of his.
They took away with
you're cast out from the red line or something like that.
Mm-hmm. They took away what made him special, made him normal, and sent him with the normal people.
You like it? Yeah, it's just like Thor in the movie. Odin just strips him of all of his titles, his powers, and just takes him off to Earth.
Yeah, banished him from Asgard.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we should also consider Loki's backstory. Maybe it's going to be a kind of play on that, where Loki's mom, you know, she looked at Loki, she's like, "Ew, get out of here," and threw Loki off the tree. Maybe they threw Emu off the red line. Maybe we could take some inspiration there. Maybe there's some kind of like parallels.
Ooh.
With that,
maybe Emu was just born without a flame.
Get a lore dump after the break with the emu face reveal. Do you think we'll get a lore dump now, like with his backstory into the Void Century and whatnot?
I would love that, but maybe I would feel like I'm getting too ahead of myself. I want to go back to Damal really quick. Maybe he was born without a flame, Damal.
Mm-hmm.
Just a unique
and that's why he was an outcast.
And maybe Nika or Joy Boy or whatever, Joy Boy / Nika, they had the flame, and Nika had like this, or Emu had like this envy, like how come everyone loves you? How come you're the good guy? How come you have the flame? I want to be the god, bro. I hate you, and then just kind of
body envy.
That could be possible.
Now, sorry, going back to Damon, if we did get an Emu lore dump right now, that would be very, very awesome. I'm open to that, but you know, I'm always trying to be wary of Oda, bro.
I feel like Oda would be moving at a breakneck speed. I feel like it'd be too soon. No,
we might not get that till like at the end of the story. That might be like the last thing we see of One Piece, the Void Century flashback. Like,
bro, we might not get that till GTA 7.
Yeah,
no,
I don't know, man. It's speeding up. One Piece might finish in like 2-3 years from the way it's looking. If we get the Emu face reveal already,
hell no way.
We might have 2 more arcs after Elbaf if we get all this early.
I'm thinking the speed spot will be somewhere between 3 and 4 years. Now that Emu's face is revealed, I feel like it's got to speed up a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe not a lot.
My take is we're getting all this Emu stuff, you know, maybe very quickly, because Oda doesn't want to wait till last second and make Emu almost like a Kaguya kind of thing. Like, yeah, we had the Gorosei and we had the world government and things since Jaya, but maybe he's like so afraid of the Kaguya situation. He's like, bro, you know what? In Elbaf, I'm going to show Emu's face and I'm going to show some of his powers, maybe like 3-4 arcs in advance, just so there's no way people could say I pulled the Kaguya.
Yeah.
My thing is, if we're getting any information on Emu, it's going to be minuscule. It's going to be like how we got Gunko's flashback with Brook. It's going to be one panel with zero context except for one line that was between Joy Boy and Emu. And as for the length of it, I'm going to say that Oda is probably going to end One Piece around 2033. Because of the whole concept with the threes, so we got about another 7 years possibly.
I don't know. I feel like 7 years is a little long.
I feel
you have to take into
account
like the war. You have to take into account the war. The war that's going to at least be a good year or two, maybe 3.
I totally agree. You got to take into account the war, but The good, interesting approach to take is rather than trying to guesstimate the years, try to guess how many. Guess what the next few arcs will be, and try to guess how many chapters will be in those arcs, because then you could round up how many years.
Elbaf is looking like it's gonna go longer than we expected. So
because think of it this way, right? Though surely the final war of One Piece is at least 100 chapters, right? We only get 34 chapters a year, so that's already like almost 3 years worth of final war chapters. But that doesn't include Laptail. That doesn't include, like, I don't know, maybe we have a whole arc for Blackbeard.
I mean, there's 3.
Yeah.
So far, there seems to be like 3 major arcs that need to be dealt with. There's the rest of Elbaf, there's Hachinosu, and then there's the final war. And I'm assuming the final war is going to take up most of the rest of the ending. So I'm going to say this is so far about almost over 50 chapters long. Let's say that we get almost 120 for the final war.
How many chapters was Whole Cake Island? It was 60, right? Or 6 plus 60, wasn't it?
I think it was plus 60.
So I feel like Elbaf is going that
78.
way.
78.
Yeah. Emu gonna come in, whoop everybody. Everybody gonna be broken. We're gonna deal with the aftermath of that and probably move on to the next arc.
It's gonna be like Shabandi 2.0, where Kuma came through and just laid the smack down. Now it's gonna be Emu. But yeah, I'm wondering how this is gonna, like, now that we're seeing Emu's full body, like his actual self going to Elbaf, now I'm leaning towards what you're saying, that they're gonna get clapped. But I'm thinking, like, is Emu not just gonna kill Luffy, just end his life? Like, how is Luffy gonna survive?
He has a time limit. He got a time limit. Remember, they said when he transformed, he had blood in his mouth. So maybe he runs out of time before he's actually able to finish, and they escape.
And if I'm right about
he wanted to look upon
with the help of maybe
Luffy
another pirate,
Loki
maybe somebody else pulls up
eye.
to Elbaf to help them escape.
Yeah, I wonder who that'd be.
Well, that's
can we
what
get a
I
shout
was
out
saying.
for my boy Usopp for bringing out Emu.
I was waiting for somebody to bring that up.
Bringing him out.
I was
you
waiting
gonna get
for
your
somebody
hands
to
dirty.
bring
You
that
need to
up.
come do it yourself.
What if
Count
Shanks
that as
just
a
uses
win?
the
You
teleportation?
take that personal, bro.
Option says not today.
Not today. Yo, Axe, you caught us at a bad time, man. We're wrapping up here, bro. I appreciate seeing you here, man. I hope you're doing great. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up here. 2.5 hours, pretty good stream. Damon, Demal, Smokey, Vincent, thank you guys. God bless everyone here. This is such an awesome chapter. I hope these spoilers are legit. I'm still kind of afraid, I'm still kind of, part of me is a little skeptical that they might be pulling a very elaborate April Fool's prank. I hope not, but hopefully these spoilers are real. Hopefully it's true, because this is a really awesome chapter. So much to talk about. I'm going to give the MVP awards to Demal and Vincent. Came up with some insane takes and theories today. But of course, God bless Smokey and God bless Eamon Deuce, as well as everyone here in the chat. Thank you guys so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful morning, day, or night wherever you guys are. Do all the YouTube stuff for me. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that YouTube stuff. We will be back again. We will be live again for the long summary spoilers whenever those are out. Maybe in a day or two. I don't know. We'll be live again for that. We'll probably do open mic again. But thank you so much, Damon, Demal, Smokey, Vincent. If you guys want to say your goodbyes, we'll be wrapping up here.
Yo, peace out. Break next week, guys.
Peace. Thanks for having me, man.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, everybody.